Here's something I wanted to ask you guys about because I'm genuinely confused by it. What is the Yang Gang and what's this new meme presidential candidate?
Yang Gang.
Can you explain it to
All
me?
right, so
Yang Gang.
Andrew Yang he's like a tech entrepreneur, and he's like Mike Gravel for centrists is the best way I can describe him. Because you know how Mike Gravel was like, he was like the last line of like the sort of like Frank Church libs,
Yeah.
where he's like, he's a liberal and he's like, you know, you got to run for Congress and shit, but he's also like, yeah, no, all this, you know, the CIA is fucked up. You know, he's like me. He doesn't know how to verbalize it or take action on it.
He just had that commercial where he dropped a rock in a river.
Yeah, that's me. And Mike Gravel was the only politician I ever felt like represented me. But this is that for centrists because he's just like, yo, let's just it's just $1,000 for everybody. And
Yeah,
like,
so his thing is, so he's a tech entrepreneur. He's one of these guys who just he went to fucking Silicon Valley and he hit the jackpot on a fucking slot machine pull, which is all any of the rich ones do. They all think they're fucking geniuses, and it's 900%
What was his thing?
luck. I don't know, radio on the internet. I don't fucking know. And
he invented Rage Comics.
He's running for president on a technocratic platform and his main plank is because he's actually pretty bog standard at this point for a lib, like he's for Medicare for all and stuff like that. But his big pitch is automation is threatening people's jobs. We need to give people a way so that they can live without having to depend on income. So let's give everybody a basic income of $1,000 a month.
A month?
Everybody gets $12,000 a year, and that's it. And apparently the plan itself is really bad and poorly done, and is designed to just get eaten up by landlords and inflation or whatever. But and nobody, he has nothing he's got nowhere in the polls, and no one really knows who he is. But he's trying to game his way onto the debate stage because what the networks are saying is that their criterion for the debates, it's you either have to have 1% in 3 polls done within 2 weeks within the debate, or you have to have 65,000 separate donations from different people in different states to show your seriousness. And Yang is trying to get on using that mechanism. And the way he's doing it is he's trying to do it with memes. He's becoming the meme candidate. And the idea is he's not saying it, but the implicit pitch is, wouldn't it be funny if I got on the debate stage? And so all of the nihilist Pepes who liked Trump in 2016 are now like, hell yeah. And I got to say, me and Virgil talked about trying to get me on the debate stage using that same loophole.
Yeah.
Well, the idea that if we said, hey, I want to get on the debate stage, I need 65,000 donations, we could probably get it. The thing is, I'm fairly confident that they will change the rules before they allow that to happen, which is why I don't think it's worth it.
Well, I would like to see you debate Andrew Yang. You guys have different plans for, the future of automation. So Yang has like picked up currency among I predicted this in 2017 that there would be like a split with the Trump people online, where it was like, do you remember like the Obama bot emo prog split?
Oh yeah,
where it was like,
do I ever?
Yeah,
man, where it all began, baby. That and the $3,000 jacket, but so that sort of happened with the Trump people, and I would say the Obama bot equivalents are best represented by like Bill Mitchell, where it's like. Yeah. Everything Trump's doing is
it's all 12-dimensional chess. Yeah. And that's the thing is because these guys liking Trump was partially a troll, partially real. But the problem is you can never really like anything because then you look like an asshole. So supporting Trump when he's running and everyone's mad at him, that's different than having to defend him once he's president. And then you kind of look like a lame wad.
Right. And because he's
something.
The same, they realized what a lot of people realize when he was running, he's just like the same as any other shitty Republican, but he's like just funnier. Like he says Tim Apple.
Right.
That's it. And now they're like, it's weirdly, it's the, like Mark Twain said, like a theme that George R. Martin deals with. History does not repeat, but it often rhymes. Where they're like, I've literally seen someone post, oh yeah, no, he's not building the fucking wall. He's just making it illegal to be mean to Israel. But he made a fucking epic tweet. I'm like, whoa, that sound, heard that before.
Here's what
and it's with Yang, like that's the new funniest guy to support, I guess.
Right.
Besides Bill de Blasio, that's the real fucking funniest one. If you really want to be a fucking
and the bit of it is that and there is the crux of the meme is the $1,000, and it, in addition to being a thing that you could slot into all of the memes that you have instead of a brain when you're these people, it also is a genuine pitch to the neat computer dorks of, hey, you have no prospects, you have no possibility of getting a job. Oh, look, Trump's been president for 2 years and your prospects aren't any better. Who could have foreseen that happening? What about $1,000 a month? You could use it for fucking Code Red, and you could buy games with it, and you could maybe like take a girl out to fucking Cheesecake Factory that you meet on a Craigslist. That. And so that's the
what
pitch.
a shitty girlfriend experience.
Yeah.
You don't even fuck them, just go to Cheesecake Factory with them.
Here's what I'm confused about, though. Is all of this upswell? I know Virgil was mobbed by the Yang Gang. Virgil got beaten down.
He couldn't come into work today because he's recovering from injuries, being yanked up.
Yang shit. Yang shit. Okay, or like the people, like I see a lot of like the Pepes now have the Yang hat in the avatar. Is this sort of weird upswell enthusiasm among the neat community? Is this like Pepe's trolling Andrew Yang? Is it Andrew Yang trolling them, or is this like represent like the Pepes have, as you said, sort of moving on from the oven ethno state phase to just like we just want $1,000 a month so we can just sort of molder and die like at a base level of
I mean that's
video
the thing
gaming.
Is that all of it is an expression of nihilism, and this is just the latest imaginative world that they're living in, one where they get $1,000 a month to game until they blow their brains out.
But like, is it all right? Do they like
there are
this?
worse futures than that. There are honestly worse futures.
Do the Pepe do the real all right people like this?
Oh no, they're very mad.
I've
seen some stuff from like 4chan where they're furious. We saw one where they're like, all these Yangers, we got to dox these fucking pieces of shit. Like, you realize that this guy is just a fucking techno nerd, and like finding out that somebody supports him is not the same as finding out that somebody has 5,000 Nazi memes in their fucking computer.
I mean, we've talked a little bit about UBI on the show, and like there are like sort of good and bad versions of it. Like it's a complicated thing. Like there's a split between people who think a UBI or a jobs guarantee is better than a UBI for a lot of reasons. I don't know enough about it to like say definitively one way or the other, but I do know that I've learned over the last couple of years or so is if it's like a tech person offering a UBI thing, it's an absolute fraud and panacea that they can use to just like basically cut loose the surplus population and just sort of wash their hands of them.
And remove any leverage that regular people might have over economic or political power.
And then here's my other thing about his this idea that like automation is his big thing, and he says, of course, automation is going to destroy tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of jobs, which he may be right about. But like, here's my thing: how about why don't we just pass a law against automation? Why don't we just make it illegal to automate your business?
You could do that, but honestly, automation, it's frustrating because it is the thing that is objectively good. It should be good because it's not like the jobs that are being replaced are jobs, for the most part, that are fulfilling, that people love doing. They're jobs that people do because they have to. And if we could free people from that, it would be great, and it would increase our productivity, and it would increase the amount that we can produce, and it would reduce the amount of input that labor input that has to go into it. I mean, like, that's the fucking Marxist dream. That's the whole idea of allowing capitalism to reach a level of development whereby its spoils can be divided fairly instead of people having to fucking work to survive. But the problem is that we haven't created a system where there's anything close to a fair distribution of resources. So all it means to people is, oh shit, I'm not going to be able to live. So I think that some sort of UBI, I think, is going to have to be talked about much more seriously. But yeah, just the Yang Gang $1,000 a month thing is obviously not it.